Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, May 4th, 2024. There's a lot of fun stuff happening in the high des this weekend, but first, something maybe not as fun but important. There's been an increase in reports of credit card skimmers and mail theft here in the high des. Over the last few months, almost every major post office in the Morongo Basin has experienced a break-in or a burglary, and the brazen theft of things like blue post office boxes or residential mail is always a problem in rural areas. There are many ways to mitigate the amount of personal info that's sent to your mailbox, like going paperless with your bank statements or bills, and that's a good start, but it isn't helpful for folks who already have had their mail stolen. On top of mail theft, credit card skimmers have been found at several local businesses. These credit card number stealing devices are secretly installed by thieves, who then return to grab the device and extract the numbers that they have illegally collected. Both of these types of theft can lead to lost mail or money in the short term, but if the thieves get a hold of personal identifying information like your social security number, it can lead to even larger problems if they do something more nefarious, like opening a line of credit in your name. So what can you do? Well, Credit Freeze is a free service from the 3 credit reporting bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It restricts access to your credit report, which means you or others won't be able to open a new credit account while the freeze is in place. The credit freeze can be temporarily lifted if you need to apply for a new credit card, and while the freeze is in place, you can still do things like apply for a job, rent an apartment, or buy insurance without lifting or removing it. After I had my wallet stolen, I put a freeze on my credit with the 3 credit bureaus that I mentioned. It was relatively easy. However, even though these official bureaus are recommended by the FTC and by law must provide these services for free to consumers, they're still going to try to get you to purchase additional services like any business will. You can safely deny any additional offers for their services that cost money, and you should always use links directly from government websites like the FTC to ensure you're being directed to the right agencies. We'll have a link to the FTC's website where you can get a full understanding of a credit freeze, along with links to those credit bureaus mentioned. That's all going to be at Z107.7fm.com. On to more fun things like the Morongo Days Festival, which is happening this weekend halfway down the hill in Morongo Valley. Here with the lineup on the festival is the Raucous Raconteur, Gabriel Hart.
On the heels of the success of the Morongo Valley Music Fest for the last 2 years, JT City Limits and the Morongo Valley Youth Softball League present Morongo Days, a free music festival featuring over 25 musical acts, vendors, food trucks, 21 and over libations, and more. Highlights of the festival's stacked bill include desert legend Sean Wheeler, Warhorse featuring the guitarist of Blues Traveler, Ill and Friends featuring Paul Ill of Dire Straits' Legacy All-Star Jam, Hammer of the Odds, Flames of Durga, Jessica Von Rabbit, Yvonne Champagne, The Kearns Family, Palo Santo, John Curry, Kaz Murphy, Kelsey Manning, and more. For full lineup and organizer contact information, please visit this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
If you're on the other side of town from Morongo Days and want even more local music, there's a punk rock prom at Taylor Junction and Joshua Tree, so you won't need a limo to get there. With more, here's Jeff Harmatz, or as he's known in the punk circles, Jeffy Ramone.
Hey, ho, let's go! Rip the sleeves off your dinner coat, bleach your corsage, and speckle your cummerbund with studs and safety pins because it's time for the punk rock prom. Dress way up or dress way down for tonight's Rockin' Desert event featuring 3 iconic local bands. Headlining is Jessica Von Rabbit with her dazzling desert pop with support from aggressive area favorite The Hot Patooties. Rounding out tonight's lineup is the joyous 60s guitar rock of Sweet Beast. Doors for tonight's show open at 6 p.m., music starts at 7 p.m., all ages are invited, and everyone is welcome, except for squares. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeffy Ramone.
Thanks, Jeff and Gabe, for those stories. I'm always happy to see how much punk is represented here in our high desert. If you missed the feature on Sean Wheeler last weekend, who's one of the headliners at the Morongo Days Festival, you can find it on our website. That's at Z107.7fm.com. Miltree, whose mission is to create community between veterans, service members, and civilians through shared experiences, projects, and creative expression, proudly hosts their final entry in their Tapestries of Transformation project tonight at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas says you'll want to experience this tapestry.
Join Miltree for their final project of their Tapestries of Transformation, a one-act original play, Tapestry, written by Gabriel Hart, with a stellar creative team led by director Christian Camargo, composer Gabrielle Alvaro and Tyler Soroka, choreographer Barbara Koch, costumer videographer Jai Knight, set designer Mia Torres, and Fax McBride, featuring sculpture by Bobby First. This one night of magic will be on May 4th in the Sanctuary Building at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. Performed by veterans, family members, and community, this performance will be the retelling of a fantastical dream spanning one night of a warrior's return home, made possible in part by a grant from the Inland SoCal Creative Corps and the California Arts Council. To RSVP, visit the link in the story at Z107.7fm.com or visit mill-tree.org. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
If you don't party too hard on Saturday night, be sure to wake up with the sun and head out for a beautiful weekend of shopping. You can park your saucer at the Moose Lodge in Landers Sunday morning starting at 9 a.m. for the returning open-air market. Out of this world, handcrafted and homemade goods, plants, cacti, and yard sale items will be for sale by Landers locals. If you want to set something up yourself, everyone is welcome to sell. Setup begins at 7:30 a.m. and the market starts up at 9. It's at the upper parking lot at Moose Lodge, which is at 58266 Ricci Road, and you can contact Randy to RSVP, or if you have any questions, we'll have his number and a flyer on our website. Then in 29 Palms, you can head out to Sketchbook Church, led by local cartoonist and screen printer Walter Metling. The event is described as an hour of gonzo group sketchbook games and is taking place Sunday morning starting at 11 a.m. at Corner 62 in 29 Palms. Sketchbooks and pencils will be provided, and you don't need to bring anything except the desire to draw and the willingness to get a little weird and creative with others. It sounds like a lot of fun, and the event is open to everyone ages 7 and up. Adults, kids, and artists of all skill levels are encouraged to come out. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Corner 62 in 29 Palms. You can see this story on our website for a flyer. And then, the world-famous Cactus Sewables Quilt Guild is meeting at the Yucca Valley Community Center this Sunday at 1 p.m., with doors opening at 12:30. The guest speaker will be Kathy Dunham on the magic of value. The theme for May's meeting is a festive Cinco de Mayo. If you aren't a member of the Cactus Sewables Quilt Guild, you're still welcome to attend and see what all the hubbub is about. It's only $3 at the door. That's Sunday at 1 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can find local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.